Hi everyone, I hope you're all okay. Today I thought I would do a fitness routine kind of Q&A video because I've had a lot of questions about my fitness routine, what I do to work out, how I exercise, that kind of thing over the kind of past month or so, and I thought that it might be easier to do sit down, do a video and talk about all the kind of frequently asked questions, and hopefully it'll be quite helpful. I don't know what my hair is doing then. Can you see that? Like, what is that all about? Because I haven't been able to kind of, I haven't quite worked out how I could film what I actually do, and please let me know if you would like me to try and do a more practical kind of demo of the exercises that I do all the time, because I'm sure that I can arrange something. I'm sure that if I ask the ladies nicely who I do my fitness classes with, I'm sure that I can get something arranged. But let me know if that is something you would like to see and I will start working on it. But I thought I'd do this as more of like a Q&A, answer some questions, and hopefully it'll kind of make things a little bit clearer. So the first question that I've been asked a lot is, how did you get in? Well, how and why did you get into working out and exercise? So first of all, why I decided to start working out was basically in January this year, after Christmas, I was feeling a little bit sluggish. I'd overindulged, which obviously is what Christmas is all about, and I'd literally eaten like so many quality streets and so much chocolate and so many pigs and blankets. I was literally a step away from being an actual pig in a blanket. And my clothes are very tight, and I just did not like what I was seeing in the mirror. I was like, right, I'm gonna start exercising. And then how I kind of got into exercising was because I had a friend who said that she was going to fitness classes and she's doing a class called Clubbercise. If you've not heard of Clubbercise, it is basically like a dance aerobics class, and they turn all the lights out and there's loads of like disco lights, and you dance to like 90s and chart kind of dance music, and you have a set of glow sticks. And I thought that sounded so much fun because I've never enjoyed exercise, always hated PE, always hated the gym, but this actually sounded fun. I was like dancing around in the dark with glow sticks to 90s music. I was like, this is amazing. So I thought it sounded really fun, and that's how I kind of started to get into it. So I started going to those classes just first of all once a week, and it was obviously easy for me because my friend was there, so I knew someone already. Like my mum came to the first class with me, but I just thought it was but once I got that first class out of the way and I realised that everyone was really nice and it was actually a really nice class and it was really fun and no one cares if you're dying, well obviously if you're dying, but you know what I mean, I realised that, hey, this is actually quite fun, and I started to kind of go to that. So I started doing that once a week, and then after a few weeks I decided to do it twice a week, and I did that for a good couple of months, and I really enjoyed doing Clubbercise. It was a really good way to kind of dip my toe into exercising because it wasn't crazy hard. I think if I'd have gone into some of the exercises that I do now, I would have just walked straight back out again and never returned. So after a couple of months, I was starting to see results, which I was loving. I was loving the fact that I was actually starting to lose a little bit of weight, and I felt like my stamina was kind of building up. So this kind of builds me up to what I currently do exercise wise, because this is how it kind of goes on. So basically after a couple of months doing 2 Clubbercise classes a week, I was starting to get a little bit bored. I get very bored easily, and after doing like 2 classes for 2 months doing the same routine, I was a bit like, I'm ready for something else. So I looked at the gym where I was doing Clubbercise, and they do lots of other different classes, and I felt like because it wasn't as scary, like I knew it wasn't cliquey and I knew all the ladies, that I thought I'd be brave and try some different classes. And then it was around also this time that Henry got a new job. So he was working away Monday to Friday, away from home. So I was literally going to be on my own from Sunday night to Thursday night, and obviously I work from home. So suddenly I was like, I'm going to be on my own a lot. So I thought that if I went to a fitness class every single evening, apart from Sunday evening, then it would be a good way to get me out of the house, make sure that I'm actually socialising with human beings, and I just thought it'd be something I could enjoy doing. So that is what I do. So the fitness classes, so everything that I do is fitness classes. I don't do any other exercise, like that's all I do. And the first fitness class that I do is called Block Fit. So basically this was a class invented by Chico from the X Factor. It's Chico time, I don't know if you remember him. And it's basically 4 workouts in one class. So you've got Zumba, which is kind of like obviously dance. Then you've got a combat, like boxercise section. Then you've got a HIIT section, and then you finish with a yoga section. So because each section is like 10 minutes long, it kind of means it moves very quickly, you don't get bored. So I really like the fact that there's like 4 different sections within one class, which means you're doing 4 different sets of exercise. So I really like that. So I do that twice a week. Then I also do a intense cardio session. So this one is only half an hour long. Oh, the block fit one's an hour long. So this intense cardio, you use weights, and basically you just do lots of, it's kind of like HIIT almost. You do like jumping jacks, like loads of squats, you don't run around the room, you're doing high knees. It's kind of like this intense dance cardio with weights. So I really like it because it's half an hour. You kind of know that you're going in, you work really hard for half an hour, and then you're coming out. And I've never sweated so much in half an hour than what I do in that class. Another class that I do is called Body Blast, and this is basically like a toning class. So it's a lot of lunges. It's basically like legs, bums and tums, I can imagine. It's basically just that with a different name. So you kind of do 4 different sections, and it's like legs, bums, your abs, and then your arms. I have changed up my classes recently, so I'm now doing different classes. I've started to do piloxing, which is a mixture of Pilates and boxing. I really enjoy this. Like, it's so much fun. Like, if you work out quite a lot already, definitely check this class out because it's really fun. I've also started doing Strong by Zumba, which is basically an hour's worth of HIIT. It's insane. I literally wanted to die, and I don't think I have ever sweated so much than I have done after my first session, but I kind of liked it. And then there's also another class called Vibe Body, which is starting very soon, which is very kind of thigh orientated, which I love because I still feel like I need to work on the thighs. But those are the classes that I am doing at the moment, and I basically started to see insane results after about a month of doing this. Within a month, I was starting to get more definition in my tummy. I was definitely starting to slim down a lot more, and I've been doing those workout classes pretty much every single week since April, and that is kind of how I've kind of lost weight and how I feel like I've kind of toned up, and I feel like my kind of body shape has kind of completely changed, and it's all because of doing those classes. And someone also asked me, how do you get a toned tummy? Now, my number one tip for getting a toned tummy, I mean, a lot of the classes I do tummy exercises, but something that I have found to really tone up your tummy and make a noticeable difference is to do planks. So every single morning, well, pretty much every single morning, depends on how I'm feeling when I get out of bed, but pretty much every single morning I will plank for 30 seconds to 1 minute, depending on how I'm feeling. And I tell you what, doing a plank every single day is insane for making your tummy definition. So that's what I'd recommend if you want to get a toned tummy. So a lot of you have been asking me about what I eat, and I have to admit I'm not the most healthiest eater. When I kind of changed a lot of my eating habits over the past couple of years, I used to eat a lot of rubbish. So I used to eat like 2 chocolate bars, 2 packets of crisps every single lunchtime, which obviously isn't good for you. So instead of doing that, I will try to kind of eat less junk food. One of the best ways of doing this is to just not buy junk food. It's hard because Henry can eat junk food because he's so slim and he will never ever see a difference, and it's really frustrating. So he always has junk food in. But what I do is when I do the weekly shop, I buy junk food for him that I don't like. So for example, like I buy him Yorkie bars because I am never going to be tempted by a Yorkie bar. But if I bought him like Milky Ways, I am going to be tempted, if that makes sense. So buy stuff that you are not going to be interested in, or just basically just don't buy any rubbish, because if it's not in the house, you're not thinking about it, and it's an effort to go down to the shops. I've also swapped out a lot of white carbs for like whole wheat carbs, or whole grain. I can never work out what the right thing is to say. So instead of eating like white rice, white pasta, I eat whole grain pasta, whole grain rice, like pita breads. I don't really eat white bread a lot anymore. Like I literally never eat white bread. I eat rye bread or like seeded bread or whole grain bread. Like I just feel it's so much better for like my tummy and bloating. Also, if like, for example, if me and Henry are making dinner and the dinner is something like, say for example it's steak and chips, instead of me having chips I will have sweet potato, or I'll do a corn on the cob and some salad. So it's kind of changing things up like that. Like when we do chicken fajitas, instead of having like 3 or 4 wraps is what I used to do, I'll have 1 wrap, or sometimes I won't even have a wrap and I'll just have the chicken and peppers with a salad. So it's all about kind of making little changes like that. But what I tried to do is eat pretty healthy Monday to Friday, and then at the weekend, I do not care. Because I think if you completely cut out all bad stuff from your diet, you're just going to want to crave it and eat it. And then you're just going to go back to 0, 1. 0, 1? That doesn't make sense. You're going to go back to plan 1. Step 1. I don't know. Whatever. Now, the final thing that I have been asked quite a lot is, how do you stay motivated? So obviously I work out quite a lot a week. How do I stay motivated? And I think the number one thing to stay motivated whilst exercising is if you enjoy it. Because like with anything in life, if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to want to do it. And I am very much, if I don't enjoy doing something, literally won't do it. So the fact that I enjoy my classes is why I go to them all the time. So what I would say is find classes or find an exercise that you enjoy. It doesn't have to be running on a treadmill or going for a run in the park, because I find running so boring and I hate running. So you have to find something that works for you, whether it's swimming or whether it's doing a fitness class, whether it's doing yoga or whether it is going to the gym. You have to find what works for you, because if you find something you enjoy doing, you're going to want to keep doing. I don't know if that made any sense whatsoever, but hopefully it did. So yes, but if you have any other questions at all about working out, exercising, anything like that, please either just tweet me. My username's at Dizzybrunette3. Leave a comment and I will try and get back to you. So yeah, right, I'm going to go now because I'm just talking rubbish as per usual. But thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you very soon. Bye.